So far, we've used one way to declare strings. Here, my string is a variable name, and we want to set it equal to the value 12345. To tell it to interpret 12345 as text instead of as numbers, we enclose it in quotation marks. As a result, the type of my string is a string instead of an integer. And then we print my string and see exactly what we expect. Now there's a special case we haven't dealt with here though. For example, what if for some reason we wanted the value to actually be quotation mark 12345 quotation mark? What if we wanted those quotation marks to actually be inside the string? Well, if we just write it that way, Python gives us a syntax error. And the coloring of this code kind of reveals why. Note that 12345 here is not in green, which means it's not being interpreted as a string. We know that quotation marks start and end strings. So this first quotation mark starts the string, and the second one immediately ends it. So the string has now been ended. Python doesn't know what the 12345 in the middle is supposed to be. And then at the end, we have another quotation mark to start another string, and immediately end it again. So if the quotation marks are automatically going to be interpreted as starting or ending the string, how can we put a quotation mark inside a string? Now fortunately, Python takes care of this by giving us multiple ways to define strings, and we can use whichever way is compatible with the content that we want inside our string. One way of doing this is to use apostrophes instead of double quotes. In Python, you can start a string with either an apostrophe or a quotation mark. And most importantly, Python won't terminate the string until it encounters the same mark that you used to start the string. So here on line 1, we start the string with an apostrophe. Python is now interpreting every character that follows as a part of the string until it encounters another apostrophe. So it interprets the quotation mark as part of the string, the numbers as part of the string, the next quotation mark as part of the string, and it isn't until it encounters that second apostrophe that it interprets the string as concluding. And so as a result, when we print my string 1, we see that the quotation marks are actually part of the string. Recall before that when we defined the string 12345 and printed it, the quotation marks were not part of the string. Here the quotation marks were used to designate the string. Here we're using apostrophes for that, and so the quotation marks are parts of the string. And we can do that in reverse as well. On line 2, with my string 2, we use a quotation mark to start the string, which means that Python is now interpreting every character as a part of the string until it encounters another quotation mark. So the apostrophe, the digits, and the apostrophe are all parts of the string until it encounters that second quotation mark. And as a result, the output for my string 2 is 12345 surrounded by apostrophes. Now what about the rare case though, where we want to use both apostrophes and quotation marks inside the exact same string? Well, Python has a way to do that too. Python attaches special meaning to 3 apostrophes in a row. It looks at 3 apostrophes in a row the same way it looks as a quotation mark or a single apostrophe. They start off a string, but Python won't terminate the string until it again encounters 3 quotation marks in a row. So for my string 3 on line 3, it encounters 3 apostrophes, so it's going to interpret everything as part of the string until it encounters 3 straight apostrophes again. Quotation mark, a single apostrophe, digits, a single apostrophe, and a quotation mark. None of those match the pattern of 3 apostrophes in a row. So it's not until it encounters those last 3 apostrophes that it actually terminates the string. And so for my string 3, we see quotation marks and apostrophes in the same string. But we can still use 3 apostrophes in a row in a regular string if we're starting it with a quotation mark. So for my string 4, it prints the string with 3 apostrophes on either side, because here Python was using the quotation marks to designate where the string started and ended. So between these 3 ways of declaring strings, single apostrophes, quotation marks, and triple apostrophes, we generally take care of every possible type of string content we want to include. There might still be a couple exceptions that are difficult to show in Python, but this is going to take care of the vast majority of the things we want to portray.